we are their legacy. Pay homage and get to know them. All right. So I'm going to read Edmond Lee Lacy Sr. and Alvora Lacy's bio. They were parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and now we're up to our 6th generation. Edmond and Alvora were married in 1937 and had 9 children. First was Andrew. And when I call your name, please stand up if you're here. First child, Alvoria Dean Daniels. Are you here? I know you're here. There you go. Sharon Gallup. There you go. That's Ebony. That's her daughter. All right. Next, here we go. Edmond Lee Lacy Jr. was married to Lucy Field Lacy. Their children are, here we go, Bruce Lacy, Tommy Lacy, Teresa James, take a moment for Michael Lacy, Antonio Lacy. There you go. Kenneth Lacy, and my partner in crime, and my partner in crime who helped set up, Lisa Swain, and Patricia Lacy. Next child was Albert Lacy, and he married Evangeline Harder, and they had their children, Pamela Lacy, Pamela Lacy Moore, let me finish, Antonio Lacy, Anthony, like that, Eugene Lacy, and Vincent Lacy. Oh, okay. Alton? Yeah. There you go. All right. Next we had Dolores Field, who married Grover Field. She's over in the corner, one of our elders, and her son was Wayne Octavius Field. My auntie from D.C., Otassa Boston, who married Milton Boston. And they have 2 children, Erica Proctor and Milton Boston Jr. Now we get to my mama, Rita Lee, who married Reginald Parker. And you already know who I am. I'm Reginald. But my brother, he's not here, Ronaldo. He should be here later. Then we have my Uncle Leroy, who married Fabian Chase. And they have their children, Nakia Lacy, Brian Lacy, Christopher Lacy, and Gabriel Lacy. There we go. Where's my Aunt Angela? There you go. Angela Boston married Larry Boston, and they have 2 children, April and Ava. Hey, there we go. And rounding out the bunch is my uncle Aaron, the baby of the bunch. He married Elaine James, and they had 2 children, Shannon, my co-host, and Aaron Lindsay. So, with that being said, we have accumulated a legacy of close to over 200 descendants, and the family tree is very large and diverse. So no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you ain't gonna never be alone. So, and to make sure you don't get away, that's why we had to sign. That's why we had to sign in at the table, so we can develop this network. It's not just accountability, it's so that we can stay together, share resources, share information to keep us growing, keep us thriving. All right? So y'all enjoy, and I'm gonna hand this back over to my co-host.
Thank you very much, Tony. All right, so we had Edmond Lee Lacy, and guess what? We've got other family members that I just met. So Uncle Edmond Lee Lacy had brothers and sisters, and we've got grandchildren of 2 of the brothers and children here too. So I think they just told me Uncle S.J. Was older than Uncle Hugh Morris. So Uncle S.J.'s rep, Shamika, is here. And she graciously said she would present over texting. Let's give her a hand.
All right, well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, so during, I'm going to go briefly. During my talk, you will hear me say something to the extent of, because of the Lacy family legacy, and I want you to respond with, lives on. Okay? I'm going to say, because of the family, because of the Lacy family legacy, and your response will be, lives on. Okay? So let's practice it. Because of the Lacy family legacy, lives on. Because of the Lacy family legacy, lives on. Okay, all right. So I am charged with talking about my grandfather, Southie James, which is also known as S.J. Lacy. So S.J. Lacy was born on March 8th, 1926, to Jim and Celestis Lacy. He attended Bethel Union School, but stopped in the 4th grade to continue his work on the farm and supporting his family, which was a common practice during this time, because the Lacy family legacy. Because the Lacy family legacy. Thank you. All right. October 4th of 1944, he entered active service in the U.S. Navy, serving for 2.5 years during World War II. He received honorable discharge for his service in 1946. After the war, he had several or multiple occupations, including driving a tractor, working on the railroad, and retiring after 31 years at DuPont plant in Kinston, North Carolina, because the Lacy family legacy. Because the Lacy family legacy. Thank you. S.J. was married for 43 years to Doris Gaynor Lacy, who to this union had 4 children: Doris Lacy, James Curtis Lacy, Brenda Lacy Smith, who's in the audience, and also Jerry Lacy. Because the Lacy family legacy. Thank you. S.J. and Doris were talented individuals who played vital roles within their community, demonstrating a life of servant leadership. S.J. was the first black man on the local school board in Winterville, North Carolina. He became a board member during the early periods of school integration. He was the speaker at both Doris and Curtis's graduation, where he spoke on A Moment to Remember. Okay. He was one of the first black men. I'm gonna wait. All right, let's show some love to our relatives. Thank you. Let's show some love to our relatives. Okay. All right. Okay, once again, because of the Lacy family legacy. Because of the Lacy family legacy. S.J. and Doris became both deacons and missionaries at Mount Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church under leadership of Reverend Moore. Soon after, S.J. became the chairman of the Deacon Board and was also a part of the finance deacon. During this time, He also served in the church to help them build their church. He was a designer and finance for the church at its present location, where he served for over 40 years because of Lacy family legacy. Because of Lacy family legacy, Doris and SJ had a vision for their family to go to college. They were determined to successfully send all 4 of their children to institutions of higher education. Doris Lacy, who was known as Bush or Minister Lacy, she earned her Bachelor's of Science degree from Livingstone College and a Master of Science from Virginia State University. Kurt, also known as, James Lacy, also known as Curtis, graduated summa cum laude from the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Brenda Lacy Smith graduated from Barber Scotia with a bachelor's degree, and Jerry Lacy graduated from the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University with a Bachelor's of Science degree and a Master's of Science degree because of Lacy family legacy. Because of Lacy family legacy. Minister Doris Lacy went on to impact the world and with her ministry as a single black woman. Curtis Lacy went on to retire from a career in the federal government, marrying Shirley Lacy into this union as one daughter who was an entrepreneur, and her the business is called Mrs. Lacy Studios LLC. Brenda Lacy retired from the field of education after 34 years and was married to the late Charles Edward Smith Jr. To this union is 2 children, Dr. Shamika Smith and Pastor A.C. Smith, or Anthony Smith. Anthony married Aisha, and to this union is Rayma and Zoe because the Lacy family legacy. Jerry Lacy retired from the military in corporate America. He married Denise Lacy, and to this union are 2 children, Brad and Brock Lacy. Bradford Lacy married Aaron Lacy, and they have 2 children, Lex and Leo. Brock married Katie, and they have 3 children, James Brockman, Miles, and Lorelai. Denise passed away in 2012, and Jerry remarried Betty Lacy because of the Lacy family legacy. Because of the Lacy family legacy. And so here we stand 98 years later from the birth of one man, S.J. Lacy. I'll say it again. Here we stand 98 years later from the birth of one man, S.J. Lacy. Deacon Lacy displayed the meaning of well done, thy good and faithful servant. He was a black man who defied the odds against him, built a church, supported his wife and 4 children, purchased real estate, engaged in community service, all while being an outstanding family man because the Lacy family legacy. Because the Lacy family legacy. I conducted an interview with my grandfather in February of 2005 where I asked him, what advice would you like to leave to the world? And what he said was, keep Christ on board and keep walking. The Bible is a roadmap to go by. So we hear it all the time, that we stand on the shoulders of giants and great men and women of faith and vision and struggle and hope and legacy. And so I thank you for being a part of the Lacy family reunion because the Lacy family legacy. Because the Lacy family legacy. I'm a Christian, and so I have to leave you with the scripture. 2 Timothy 4 verse 7 and 8 says, when I think about my grandfather, I think about, I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I have kept the faith. And now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, where the Lord God will righteous judge, where the Lord to be on that day, not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearance, because the Lacy family legacy, because the Lacy family legacy, it's time because the Lacy family legacy. Thank you.
Uncle Hugh Morris, his granddaughter, is on her way up to Nisha. Let's give her a hand too.
Hi family, how y'all doing? First of all, it is so lovely. This is my first time attending a Lacy family reunion. And it's just absolutely so lovely to see all these Lacys in the house granddaughters. And so my grandfather married Delaney Little Lacy in 1945. She looked about him. And my grandmother was a little bit older, but she found this lovely young man. So they got married in their 20s in 1945. And together they raised 12 kids. And so they were sharecroppers, and they lived in a home, a little bit of a house there. And their kids were Lil, my Aunt Lil, my Uncle Bruh, and James, Linda, Morris, Doris, who's in the house today. Send on my Aunt Doris. I think I've got them all in order too. So Doris, my Uncle Jimmy, my Uncle Joe, my mom, Margaret. She also goes by Faye. My mom, raise your hand. Then my Aunt Kay. Then his baby girl, my Aunt Joyce. Raise your hand, Aunt Joyce. And then the last 12th one was my Uncle Ken, who has now since passed away. But that's 12 kids, guys, on a farm. And so that family didn't have a lot of money, but they certainly had a lot of love. I remember growing up, I was born in Philly, but we came back very, very early when I was a little girl, and I have lots of memories of just kind of running around on the farm, barefoot, all those things. Those of us who grew up in the country.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all know that life and all.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of just nice memories to that, and so I really appreciate, even though they didn't have a lot of money, they still had an outhouse when he passed away in 1989. They still had an outhouse. Who know about that outhouse life? Yeah. Who know about that outhouse life? Okay. When you live in the country and you don't know about that outhouse life, okay? Funny story,
It was rough.
It was rough, but we got some lessons though, right? We got some lessons. Funny story, I was just again about 8 or 9 when he passed away, and one of the things just being 8 or 9, I dropped a whole roll of tissue in our house toilet. Why do that? Tell me, my granddaddy turned me over his knee and said, I didn't like that, but I still remember it. I had 7 or 8 years old, and I accidentally dropped it, and that was the rest of history. So I got my little butt spanked for that. So it's kids in the house. I also want to recognize the children of some of his grandkids. I'm one of his grandkids. So we have a couple of his grandkids in here today. Can you guys raise your hand? All right, there you go. He also I want to recognize his great grandkids. He has 6 great grandkids that are in the house today. He has quite a few right now, but I also want to recognize these little ones at that table as well too. I love my cousin Shanika is saying that the Lacy family legacy lives on. I'm going to put that on some of my pictures when I go back and edit them. So thank you for that praise, cousin. I love that, absolutely. And another thing that someone has noted as well that they remember about my grandfather is that he was just very kind. He did love the little spirits. He liked the little spirits. We all know that. But a lot of us do. Don't play. A lot of us like the little spirits. Like we like the little spirits every now and then. We like the little spirits every now and then. We remember finding spirit jars. We found a few spirit jars in the bushes, but it's all good. You know, it's all good. But one of the things my cousin said is that he really appreciated my grandfather, just the fact that he would give his shirt off his back. So we always want to make sure we recognize that as well. So thank you, Todd, cousin, for that. And I just want to give a shout out to my grandparents. Again, they didn't have a lot of money, but they were being so proud of his line. My mom worked 30 years at CNA. My Aunt Doris as well as working in the healthcare field. My Aunt Joyce has done her thing. Her husband, they've been 30 years as grandparents. My cousin and I were doing our thing as well. My cousin had one of his shirts recognized on a movie. And so it's just awesome, just great things that we're doing. And so they will be very, very proud of us. So thank you, Mom, to my grandfather, Hugh Morris Lacy, and thank you for this opportunity to speak at the reunion this morning. Thank you.
Okay, everybody can see that we have Morris barbecue, chicken, and seafood in ours. Let's give them Lacy welcome. They work with us all the time, ordering and reordering. Thank y'all. So I have 3 important things to tell you before we get ready to start dinner. first things first, we got our family reunion ball. So that gives you a chance to say something about you. So if you find out that you have the ball, I'll be walking around giving it to people. Some people can pass, and I'll tell you who they are. If you're not one of the people that pass, then you either have to say who you are and where you're from and how you got to be here, or you can answer one of the questions that's on the ball. So I'll be walking around with that while you're mingling with family. Next thing, up here at the DJ booth, the handsome, wonderful DJ.
She going on the way with it.
Oh, sorry. So I have two notebooks here, composition books, and this was really important to our family for us to network with people. And we know that we have people who have recently graduated or people that are looking for employment. And we also, like we've heard in our history, have a lot of people that are in positions that they can help people with jobs. So the white notebook is for managers, supervisors, in position that you can give a reference, give advice, talk to, maybe even do a call for somebody. We want you to put your name, email, phone number, and your location, like where you live. If you are one of the graduates or somebody, maybe you've been looking for a job and we're in one of your fields, then you put it in the yellow. Does everybody understand that? So we can network, because that's what successful people do. They network with their family. And this is an idea that my Aunt Rita called and said, listen, you have a family reunion, this is what we need to do. So these books will be up here by the DJ booth on this thing and kids. All right? Okay, this next thing is something that we can all do together. It's our family reunion song for 2024, We Are Family. So when it gets to the chorus, everybody pretty much knows the chorus. Now when it says I got all my sisters, you can say sisters and brothers, you can say family, you can say something else when it gets to that part. So we want everybody to participate in it. So we're going to ask the DJ to spin it, and let's rip.